Hello, Kelsey Reed here from SABT. We're going to talk about overhead farmer carries. We all know that farmer carries are great for building overall strength and stability because you pick up a heavy thing and you walk around with it for a while. We're going to talk particularly about overhead carries and proper form for that and things you should be thinking about while you do an overhead carry. The benefits of overhead carries are strength and stability of the shoulder and the shoulder girdle. Also, you can work on core stability, and I'll point that out later on as we go. And then also, it's hard to do, so it's really great to throw into at the end of the workout because it's not too mentally taxing, but again, it just can work on some of the smaller stabilizers and then also just overall strength of your shoulder. So let's go ahead and get started. Notice that I'm holding the bell in a racked position, and I'm going to use both hands to press it up over my head, especially if you're choosing a weight that's heavier than you would normally press just with one arm. You want to use both arms to get it over your head because it would be very detrimental and not at all efficient to hurt yourself getting the bell up over your head. So you'll also notice that my wrist is in a strong position. I see a lot of people breaking at the wrist right here where their palm is facing more toward the ceiling, or you notice that my knuckles are facing the ceiling. So you want to make sure you have a strong wrist there to keep you just don't want to have it very easily injure your wrist. And also you can get a power leak there, so you'll lose ability to keep the bell up overhead and it gets all wobbly, and that's no good. So moving on. So notice how I'm holding it a little bit away from my ear as well. It's not like my arm is not smashed up against my ear, but that it's actually a little bit further away. And then as I turn to the side here, you'll see that my ribs are down and I'm about to pop out for you. So this is what I see a lot. So your butt's sticking out, you got a really great arch right here, and then also your ribs are popping out. This is a poor position because you can't stabilize in your core, your spine gets angry, shoulder gets wobbly, and then it's most likely that you're going to hurt yourself. So what you want to make sure you do, you make sure you get into this proper position here. So if you can see, I'm squeezing my butt, I'm keeping my abs tight, and I'm pulling my ribs down. That's why my hand is there. It helps remind me to keep my ribs down. And while I'm doing this, I'm feeling my abs turn on, and I'm also breathing over that brace. So you don't want to hold your breath, otherwise you're going to pass out. But keep your abs tight. Think about pulling your ribs down into your hips and your hips up into your ribs. And that's going to keep everything nice and tight around there. So the whole time you're walking, you should be thinking about keeping this midsection tight. Otherwise, you're going to find a really angry back or a really angry shoulder because you're going to lose your stability there. Also, too, I'm going to turn around and show you the back. So in the back here, my shoulder blade is packed. I'm also using my lats to stabilize here. Notice that my arm is like locked out straight, but then it's also not too close to my ear nor too far away. I've seen also some people where their arm is like over here, and that's gonna not work out so well for you. So make sure you're close enough to your ear that you're not like way far out and out, but you're also not too close that you're smashing your ear against your arm. There should be a little bit of air between your ear and your arm, but also in this way I'm stacked. Notice how I'm in a pretty straight line all the way down, and there's my hip bone down there. So I'm a pretty straight line, able to keep that weight right on top of the center of my gravity. And then the other half of my body, so the non-weighted side, is going to be working pretty hard to keep everything nice and stable. And as I walk away, I'm going at a nice slow pace, keeping that shoulder blade down and packed, and then again, keeping my ribs down, keep staying tight in my abs, and keeping that weight overhead. And that's the best way you can do it. Also, make sure, notice I took down the weight with both hands. You don't want to just let it fall because that would be terrible. And you'll end up ripping something in your shoulder. So try it today, give it a shot, and keep thinking about everything stays tight, and then just walk slowly.